First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Second, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS that do rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four corners of the world. Shalom to the Agwa, and shalom to the few children that do subscribe to this channel. Today's lesson is basically going to be about if our power is with us, who can be against us? Because we do get worry in the spirit sometimes, and this even goes for myself. So this is really a confidence booster, and this is really really when you think about it, it's really a comforter. To let other Akim know, and just really to let the sheep know that the Lord got us. He's not going to lead us to the slaughter. He got us. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 31. What shall we then say to these things? What can we say to these things that's about to occur? Others going to look at them with great amazement and marvel at these things. But for us, if Yahweh be for us, who can be against us? So when these things are happening, these things are occurring, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, he has us. He has us. And he's going to manifest and let that be known that he has us. Next thing I wanted to actually go to was Daniel. This is Daniel chapter 6. I'm going to read the verses on down. And the reason why I'm using Daniel and I'm going to use another precept is because it showed that when times of adversity, when hard times come, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah will always find a way to get you out of these situations no matter what you're put in. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah is going to get us out of these situations that we in. Believe that. These precepts and these writings are for that happened in the past is for our learning today. Okay. Oh yes, no, that's a good one. This is Darius speaking to Daniel. I believe Darius had came rulership after Nebuchadnezzar and all the rest of the kings that were there in the land of Babylon. I think it was the Persians. This one, the Persian rulership. If I'm wrong, then forgive me. But I believe it was during the Persian rulership. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of the lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thou power whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. See, he knew. Darius knew. Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. Okay. My power hath sent his angel and have shut the lions' mouths, and they have not hurt me, far much as before and hence him and see was found in me. Now also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his power. My point. He believed in his power. That's what we have to do. We have to believe in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. Despite everything, despite everything that happens and goes on, we have to believe in our power. We have to. It's command. You have to, because you're not going to be able to get past this hell that's coming. You got pestilence, you got famine, You about to have a famine of bread. You about to have a famine of the word. You know, if you got fires, not to get off topic. If you got fires and fires burn up all your crop life and your animals, you know, you can't feed. You can't feed the people. You know, and every time we hear like about a snowstorm or something, the markets are so, you know, damn near you can't get nothing. You know? So imagine how it's going to be when it is really a famine of food. Something that's like $20, 20 cents. Salakium. Man, it's going to go up to $20. And people is not going to know how to react. You might have a carton of eggs be 20 something dollars. You might have a carton of, you might have a whole container of milk be like 50. You know, don't be, you looking at the prices now, and it's at an at ease price with people mind, but you have to know, man, that's trickery. You know, that price is going to skyrocket. Mark my words, once something drastic happens. You know, that, you know, according to the Bible, there will be a famine of bread, and there will be a famine of the word. But really, and do it all, you have to put all your faith and your trust in Yahweh Bashem and Yahweh Shah. You have to. Think about all the great men that put their faith in Yahweh Bashem and Yahweh Shah and how they was rewarded. Noah, King David, Daniel, the disciples, Elijah and Elisha. The list goes on and on. Ezra, Habakkuk, all these great prophets, man, and they seen visions of what's to come, you know, and they was wondering like who's going to save me in these times. But you know the thing that they had Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. It's you know, it's like a scapegoat, you know, somewhere that you can go to, you know, when trouble. But don't just come upon, don't try to call upon that name. That's what a lot of people are going to do too. Try to call upon the name and try to get things right with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah when all hell breaks loose. You know, man, you better get this truth while it's available. Steady sitting around watching the TV, you know, listening to them talk about Kobe Bryant all day like we don't have other fucking major issues in Salakia for my language, my word choice, but like we don't have other issues to talk about. You know, you had a so-called peace deal. You got the coronavirus that's out here that's running rapid. That's going to take more and more people down. So it's not going to become a drastic thing till it comes over here. And I mean, it's like till it's at the point when it's over here like it is now, and it start killing people by the thousands. You know, but us, the men of the Lord, we have the scriptures, we have this good news, the gospel. You know, that's what it stands for, is the good news, and we know that these things are going to come. So that's why we put Yahweh Bashem and Yahweh Shah as our fortress. You know, early, not all late. You know, you should seek Yahweh Bashem and Yahweh Shah while he's found. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into dens of the lions, them and their children and their wives and their lions, and the lions had the mastery of them, and break all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. Those lions, man, those lions tore them. They tore them apart till it was nothing really left. You know, and the words of Hellraiser, man, they want to tear them apart, and that's literally what happened. They got torn apart. They got torn asunder. Okay, got another one. This is Samuel chapter 17. I'm just going to do 45 and 46. Then said David to the Philistine. King David was talking to Goliath at this time. Though thou comes to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of Yahweh of hosts, the power of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defiled. This day will the Most High deliver thee into my hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcass of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth, Salakia, may know that there is a power in Israel. Let me read that again. That's powerful there. This day will the Most High deliver thee into my hands. I love that. He knew his power was going to deliver him. He knew his power was going to deliver Goliath into his hands. Because he believed on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. He believed. He had faith. He believed. And I will smite thee and take thine head from thee. And I will give the carcass of the host of the Philistines, which was Goliath, this day unto the fowls of the earth and to the wild beasts of the earth. So like in the fowls of the air and the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a power in Israel. Nobody said that because that story was going to be told all around the four corners. You can go anywhere. I'm pretty sure anybody that you go, man, you can go anywhere probably in the world and people know about David and Goliath. Because he's going to make sure y'all going to remember this. You're going to remember this. Let me get down. Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine and took his sword and drew it out of the shelf thereof and slew him and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. Yeah, because they had no power. They lost that power. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah is the ultimate power. So they lost what they consider to be their God. Because the true power shown up. And the name of the Heavenly Father, correct name is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. God is nothing but a title. And he has an only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shah. Those names have power to them. You don't want nobody to call you something that you're not. So, call upon the real names. That's the only way that people is going to be able to escape these times. You got to call upon those names. And just like it said in here. Just like it said into here. I will give the carcass of the host of the Philistine this day unto the fowls of the earth, the fowls of the air, meaning the birds, all different types of birds, that made it had exist, or that's still exists now, that was back then, and to the wild beasts of the earth, all of the creeping things, all the beasts, dogs, bulls, lions, whatever particular type of beast existed then prior to now. That's what I gotta watch that. That's the elder. That's how everything happens, and that's not but the spirit that had popped up, because it's letting you know we trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. That's why we do this work. That's why we edify. That's why we feed the sheep, because we know Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah has us, and it's our duty to waken up the other people. To let them know. Y'all got to get out that Christianity, that false, that fake churchhood, man. The real church is here. The men of the Lord, man. Talking with the elders and apostles of GMS. That's how you gonna get the real daily. You gonna get the real truth, that real bread. I'm not talking about the one you go to the store. I'm talking about the bread of life, the one that's gonna feed you all together. That's what you need. That's what we're gonna need in these hard and in these rough times that's about to about to be bestowed on us. You know, this is, man, we living in some great, great times, man. If you really a part of your life and you got the spirit on, you should be happy every day because we coming that much closer to the return of the Lord. You just got to put Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah first. You gotta let him be your fortress. And this even goes for myself. You know? That's why I called the name of this video. You know, because I was looking for but as I prayed before I do it, and I said, okay, if our power is with us, who can be against us? Nobody. Nobody can stand up against us. And our power is with us. That's why these devils are trying to pull us farther away from our power as possible, because they don't want us back in our power seat. They don't want us back in the throne. You know? And you have to imagine how huge Goliath may have been, because King Saul ain't even want to fight Goliath. Those men, when they seen Goliath, they let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. This is another good thing David said. And David said to King Saul, let no man's heart, mean your mind, fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight the Philistine. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. You know, so basically, Goliath was, since he was young, was trained to fight. He was a trained fighter. Here we go. As he talked with them, behold, there came the champion of the Philistine, Goliath by name, of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. Of course. But was David afraid? Hell no. What did David say to him? This day will Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah deliver thee into my hands. I will smite thee and take thine head from thee. You gotta have that mindset. You gotta have that type of mentality that no matter what you go through, no matter what obstacle is put in your way, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah is gonna find a way for you to get out of that. And he's gonna deliver your enemies into you, to thy hand. And you just have to, one thing, have faith, and you have to believe, and you have to put the power of Israel. He's only our power. And not the power of the Moabites, Ammonites, the Jebusites, you know, the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, the Hittites, all the rest of these nations that exist. No, he's the power of the Israelites. That's why he gave the covenant to the Israelites. You know, we're his people, and he's our power. You know, so we got to put all trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. And in this day and age, you better put all your trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You know, can't put your trust in man. Put all your trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, because remember, if the Lord is with you, if our power is with us, who can be against thee? Nobody. Nobody. Remember that. You know? And this is like I said, Samuel's, I believe this is the first book of Kings, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's the first book of Kings. So I think it's 4 books altogether, 4 books of Kings. But I like this one because it tell you how the really the kingdomhood was established. Saul went off, and then, you know, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah said, all right, well, we get you out the way, you feel me? And then I'm just going to put King David in the throne seat. You know, so the Book of Kings, they're very informative because it tells you about when our people ruled the world. You know, when we wasn't our rightful kingdomship. That's why I like it. You know, but it's not all peaches and creams because our people did go off. You know, so I believe the last king of Israel was what, Zedekiah. You know, and he got his eyes plucked out by Nebuchadnezzar. You know, and his sons got killed because of the rebellions. See, and that's a lot of things. That's a lot of things now that our people we go through. It's the rebellion. See, people don't want to come to their power. You know, they rebel against them. Tell you to do something, we don't want to do it. But the men of the Lord, we know we in these punk weak ass fleshes, so we know we're going to go off at times. But we're always going to come back to our power. We're going to acknowledge our power through everything we do. Everything. And remember this, Akim. You know, if Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah is with us, who can be against us? Nobody. Remember that. So you men out there that's laboring in this truth, keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. You know, we almost up out of this thing. And I know it probably sounds like a broken record that you hear the same thing over and over. It don't matter to the ones that don't believe. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the true believers that are out there. The true believers. You know. Seek Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah while he can be found. Because some miraculous, beautiful, marvelous things are about to be done. You know, through Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah. So I hope this video was edifying. I hope it lifts up the spirit of really the Akim out there. You know, the Agua as well and the children, but mainly I'm just directing this really to the strength of the Akim. Because we have to strengthen each other every day and comfort each other with these words. According to the Bible. You know. Based on what the Bible says, we're supposed to comfort each other. So let it be known. If David was able to bring down Goliath, and Daniel was able to escape out of a lion's den, what more us? We can do anything when Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah is with us. Remember that. Shalom.